Hell yeah, baby.
Oh, wait, you can see my gooch if I do that. How do I?
Get comfortable.
I'm gonna sit Little Mermaid
You
style.
do crisscross?
No, I'm gonna sit Ariel style.
Yeah, let those
when I was
fins
a
out.
when I was a kid, I was embarrassed to sit like this when
Yeah.
we played. We played this game at Boys and Girls Club called All for One, and you would have to roll a dodgeball around, and then you could pick it up and you throw it at someone. If you hit them, they had to sit on the ground, and
Yeah.
they couldn't get up until they could get a ball from sitting on the ground that bounced near them.
Right.
Then they could stand up. When I would sit on the ground, I always want to sit like this because it was like comfy, and I thought it was a good way to
Yeah.
But I was embarrassed because I felt like I looked
'Cause
like the Little Mermaid.
It's too sexy.
But yeah, I felt like this was the way like Marilyn Monroe sits.
You look like an Instagram model on the beach. Is
Yeah.
that what they're doing to Ariel on the beach?
Is it the Ariel?
That makes sense.
Our fan base is like mostly women in some weird way. So reach out, tell us if this is.
I looked at the stats the other day. I think it's 50% male, 48% female.
And then 2% Two Spirit.
It says other, so it could be two spirit. You know
Shout
what it
out
says
to our
though?
Two Spirit fans.
0 non-binary fans.
Yeah, I mean, I have a long history of. I'm probably, if the non-binary community becomes any significant part of the community in 10 years, that's what I'm going to get canceled for. Is for things I've said about the but whoever the
You are anti-NB.
whoever the non-binary Martin Luther King is,
Yeah.
when they go out and give a speech,
Yeah.
the million non-binary unit march, whatever they do.
It's not Martin Luther King or Queen. It's Martin Luther Monarch. It's a non-binary.
I have a dream that someday I won't have to pick other in a drop-down menu when I sign up for a website.
There will be no menu. You won't even be asked what your gender is.
Yeah.
I wanted to say patreon.com/LonelyMans. Subscribe. We have 9 subscribers right now. When we get to 10, Paul Cyphers is going to eat an ounce of mushrooms
I can't do that.
and do a live DVD commentary of The Departed. I
mean,
don't know. Some of us will eat mushrooms. Maybe Paul will just...
I'll drink.
You'll drink ayahuasca.
I just can't do psychedelics, dude.
Yeah.
I'll have a young lean breakdown if I have psychedelics. Yo, if anyone's listening to this on Vice, Jesse sent me this documentary about Young Lean, and it rules.
It is really good. Young Lean in My Head. It's a 90-minute documentary. The video is 2 hours, but the last 30 minutes is an interview with the director. No one cares.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
90,
really good.
90 gut-wrenching minutes.
It's a spooky documentary, bro, because, like, I don't want to spoil any of it, but he goes into some dark places.
I teared up once as well.
I got pretty
misty.
emotional while watching it.
I just got misty near the beginning when they were first, like, dude, they just went straight from being, like, kids making music in their basement, like, a handful of shows into, like, now clubs are, like, full of people for them.
Yeah, he was doing, like, theaters with thousands of people, and, like, people are just handing him drugs and alcohol.
It's so crazy. That's the life.
He probably tried... I've tried a lot of drugs.
Yeah, so now you imagine if you didn't have to pay for any of them.
Yeah. But, like, I tried them after I was, like, 19, 20 years old. He was, 17 years old, drinking lean and doing Xanax. I think they were looking for meth at one point.
That's life in the fast lane. Dude, you're going to hear so much. I don't have headphones. You're going to hear so much of my mouth noises. That's why I'm trying to keep this away from me.
Yeah, but you got to keep it close so that people can hear you. I'm not watching the
They can hear
levels.
me. I'm projecting, everybody. I'm here and I'm projecting.
You're a professional, even though you couldn't plug the microphone in earlier. You have a problem with that.
I just remember when I had the headphones in for the last episode, I could hear like everything, even when the mic was this far away. So I can't imagine.
All the lip smacking.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah. If I was a better editor, I would try to like clean that up. But
I don't know what you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to try to figure out how to do it like this. I think this is what the pros do. The pros in the business. Maybe I just have my mouth is too succulent.
Yeah. My mouth is not this is it salivaceous?
I don't know.
I have a lot of saliva when we start podcasting.
We don't have the mouth or the brains for podcasting.
No.
And I have the body for podcasting, I would say.
You do. No other...
Not video podcasting.
So I don't think any other podcast host does the Ariel on the podcast. I don't know. It's working.
I think it's good. Oh, yeah, I'm going to hate this when I watch it later.
Whatever. We are not at Studio de la Beau today. We just got a new green screen and everything. I hope you guys enjoyed the last video. I put a little work.
This is actually a whole green screen. I'm in my room and Jesse's in his room. And we've overlaid ourselves to be here.
Yeah, I've gotten really good at iMovie the last week.
Yeah.
Be able to do special effects. We're back in one of my living rooms.
I'm actually a hologram.
Ben couldn't make it this week. He's unavailable.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be back soon. We tried to get Jimmy Cash on the podcast. That fell through.
And then you'll see there are some allegations pending against Jimmy Cash that, we couldn't have on the podcast. We don't want to be associated.
Lesson learned, stay off of TikTok. It is not good.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Speaking of allegations, we just watched the Crystalia video like 5 minutes ago.
Yep.
Crystalia last night, Friday, at 8 p.m., I believe. Is he trying to escape the news cycle or?
I don't know, dude.
Jump into I don't know how the news cycle works.
We're living in some weird timeline right now.
Yeah.
We're living in
when did he get canceled? June last year?
Dude, every time I hear about something happening last year, there's this thing is in my brain where I'll read like November 2019 and I'll think that's like...
Yeah.
That's like 4 months ago.
Last year didn't really happen.
Fuck, wait a minute. That's so long ago. It sucks.
I think he got canceled last June. I remember you were the one that broke the news to me. We were going to work out in my basement, and you just came in hot about Crystalia.
I did?
Oh, yeah, you were all steamed out. Because you get deep into, like, the Twitter comments. You read the threads. I'm not on Twitter anymore. I get away from most social media. I don't read comments or, like, Reddit arguments or any of that bullshit. You get really like tuned up about it. Yeah, so you came in, you're like, these motherfuckers.
I don't think that's what happened. That doesn't sound like me.
You were pissed off, and rightfully so, because like immediately they're like, hey, someone's accusing Crystalia of like sexual misconduct, and like immediately it devolved into he was never funny, he's a shitty comedian. It was like, that has nothing to do with the situation right now.
Yeah.
So everyone
he's my favorite comedian ever.
Yeah.
He's number one.
What's your favorite special? Man on Fire?
I
watched the last Netflix one. Didn't hate it.
I like the one where he does the Sylvester Stallone impression.
I don't remember that bit.
He's at like the Comedy Store and he's got the... oh, wait, that's Jim Carrey. My bad. Jim Carrey's my favorite comedian ever. That's what I meant to say.
Crystalia is the new Jim Carrey. He's got a rubber face. It's the man of 1,000 faces.
Yeah, the video is weird, dude. I'm weirded out. I don't know how to react to it. I'm vaped up. And also, I don't need to react to it. That's the beauty of the planet, is that it doesn't care about me.
If we're trying to get some heat on the podcast, we're going to clip this out and put it out. LonelyMans reacts to Crystalia apology video.
I think this would be a great place for me to talk about like my personal experience with Crystalia.
Yeah.
Yeah, he texted me. And he said...
was it after a show?
Yeah,
it seems to be when most of his activity happens.
He saw my set at the Comedy Studio open mic.
Yeah.
And then he texted me. He's like, you're like the most talented comedian I've ever met in my entire life, and I really want to get to know you.
Were there any emojis in it?
Yeah. And then he said, ha, we should make out, tee. And then we did. And then
did you show him your script that you were working on?
Yeah, I showed him my script for this show I'm working on called Pickle Finance. And I was like, I think you'd be perfect for the role of me, because we're like basically like very similar people.
Similar facial hair for sure.
Yeah, similar hair, similar bodies. And
you should start doing a middle part. I was just reading that Gen Z is attacking millennials because we wear skinny jeans and do side parts. Mm-hmm. And Gen Z is all about bootcut jeans and middle parts. But they forgot about every 90s sitcom where the boy had a middle part in his hair, like Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
What's the next gen called after Gen Z?
I don't know. We're going to be dead by then. Doesn't matter. My takeaway from the Crystalia video, he's a sex addict, plain and simple. That's what it is.
Yeah, you love talking about sex addiction.
I am a sex addict. I'm a porn addict. And I recognize some of the language he was using. I think he's probably seeing a sex therapist. I wonder if he's in a 12-step program. That's where like the real work gets done. If you're gonna try to like
sober, so he's good to go.
That's probably why he's a sex addict, because like everyone needs some sort of vice. And like when I see that someone's never done drugs and alcohol, it's like, all right, they're into something.
I don't need a vice.
As you like hit the vape pen 10 times on the podcast.
Weed is not a vice. I can literally do anything.
It's medicine.
I've tried to stop smoking weed. It affects 0.0% of anything. You think it affects something, but it doesn't.
No. Did you identify with any of Chris's statements about his issues with sex?
I like when he talked about like what drunk girls sound like when they're at the
club. When they're leaving the club?
Yeah, and how they're talking about alligators and stuff.
Yeah.
I identify with that type of conversation. I don't know.
You're post-sex.
Yeah, I've been post-sex now for a while, where I'm even thinking about evolving beyond that. I don't know what the next step is. Maybe just like post-nut or something like that. Post-nutting. So I don't really know. It was a weird thing for me to say because I was just like, I imagine caring about having sex.
Yeah.
Not me. Couldn't be me lately.
You've never been in that situation.
Oh, no, I have, but I don't think it was, dude, I don't know, man. Why are we talking about this on the podcast?
I don't know.
Why did you bring this up?
This podcast is like a reality show.
All right, what's your opinion on the Louis situation? Let's break it all down. And let's go with Z's. And then
his last special was great.
And then let's go, I'm sure there's plenty of people we can bring up. Yeah, it was weird, dude. I mean, releasing a YouTube video is weird. I don't know. It's a weird.
I don't think it was a bad video. He did apologize. He just stands by that everything. It
wasn't as bad
legal.
as the Kevin Spacey one.
I didn't see that one.
Oh, dude.
Was he in like a next to a fireplace or something?
He did a video in character.
So did Chris D'Elia.
He did a video like as a character from American Beauty or some shit. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. I watched it one time and I was so like weirded out by it.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm not gonna watch this ever again. So.
I like that Louis didn't do an apology video. He just started doing stand up again and was like, "Hey, I'm back, guys." Yeah. Or like he kind of like acted like nothing happened, which is one move. That's one way to do it.
Yeah, ideally nothing ever happens and you never have to worry about it.
Right.
I think that's the path. If you're an entertainer,
I think the real key is don't reach a certain level of fame. Just like stay in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, or just like never
do anything bad. Don't harm anyone. First of all.
Mm-hmm. It's always. I mean, that's that's the first guideline.
Do no harm.
But to ensure doing no harm, my personal strategy now is that I'm just going to never have sex, never love anybody, never really have friends.
Don't really have any human interactions.
Don't hang out with anybody. All I do is I stay in my tank.
Right.
I'm a lizard, so I sit all day under a heat lamp, and then I go out to the people, and I'm gonna do my craft, and then I'm gonna immediately go back to my tank. That's kind of what Bill Hicks was doing. Didn't people say that Bill Hicks used to just like immediately leave and go masturbate in his hotel? Yeah, he would just like he would go straight from the last show to the motel, masturbate to porn, and go to bed. Because that was
he wasn't DMing teenagers and like
once he gave up. I mean, he also lived before all of that, but once he gave up drugs and shit and drinking or whatever, I think maybe drinking in particular, I think that was his way of like keeping it on the rails. It's just like, if I can just get to my hotel room, watch porn, jerk off, then I'll be tired and I'll go to sleep. And it's not bad. I mean, if that's what you have to do to keep it on the rails, there's worse ways, I
think a lot of comics do that. Yeah, if you're not a party guy, what else do you do on the road?
If you have a wife, I think the best thing you can do is just go home.
Yeah.
Call her and then just work yourself out, take a shower, and go to bed.
That's basically what I did in my last relationship.
Oh shit, my gooch.
I would just go I would go to work, what'd you drop?
My elbow fucking cracked.
Is that what that noise was?
Yeah, I popped my fucking...
Just blow a tendon on the podcast?
I think so.
I hope the microphone picked that. It was a really loud... I thought you dropped your vape pen on the floor or something.
Nah, it was actually the couch. It's going to sound really fucked up, though, when people think it's my arm. Speaking of arms breaking, UFC. What's been going on in the UFC lately? I've been.
I've watched like 3 UFC fights in the last like 10 years. I watched the Conor one.
Dude, I watched like an hour. I watched a podcast with Lex Friedman yesterday, and this guy Ryan Hall.
Yeah.
He's a lightweight in the UFC, and he's fucking like 36 or whatever. He's like a jiu-jitsu world champion, and like people like don't want to fight him because like nobody knows who he is, and he's like such a weird, boring personality, but he rules. And
what did he talk about on the podcast?
He's not like boring per se, but he's just not like a fighter. Like you wouldn't know he was a fighter until you talked to him for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I just talked about a bunch of random shit, but he's just he does this thing called the Amari roll or something, and he like somersaults into someone's legs, and then he just like grabs their leg from underneath him, and then he just like breaks it, and no one wants to fight him because he's just like snapping people.
Because he's just
ruining people's knees,
disabling people.
Yeah, and some people complain about it, and I'm like, you're trying to kick somebody in the head.
Yeah, you're trying to knock the guy out.
So. Like, some people really think that knees, like, doing shit to the knees is not a...
fair tactic?
Yeah. But I just think in the UFC, if you're trying to kick someone in the head, then I think anything should be a fair game.
Yeah, if someone's trying to punch and kick you and you're like, you have a submission skill, fuck it.
Because getting kicked in the... They argue...
Does he go beyond, like, a submission, though? Like, he's not just trying to tap you out. Like, he's really trying to, like...
No, he doesn't at all. He's like a... total jiu-jitsu like martial artist. So
yeah,
he doesn't at all. He's
just so strong that he can.
It's not even strength at all. It's in fact it's not. If you see his body,
yeah,
he looks more average. You are probably about as ripped as him. It's like
that always blows me away about UFC fighters. Like the weight classes, I'm like, oh, they weigh as much as me, but they're completely yoked.
This guy's not yoked. You're in good shape, so I'm not. It's not a slight or anything. It's just he's not at all an impressively like ripped person.
No, it just blows me away that someone that's my size can be a cold-blooded killer.
This dude is the epitome of that. He's so technical with jiu-jitsu, and he like gets off on the fact that like he's a smaller dude and that jiu-jitsu is like the best self-defense because people say it doesn't work in MMA, and he's like undefeated in the UFC, and
people say jits doesn't work in the MMA.
Yeah, because I mean, if someone has full carte blanche to like elbow you in the head, and they're built like a middle linebacker, sometimes jiu-jitsu might not cut it unless you're like,
because you're trying to go for the takedown and they're just like punching you and kicking you.
Yeah, or anything. You know, it's something works until it doesn't. It's generally what MMA comes down to. And
like Chris D'Elia says, it's okay until it's not.
Yeah. So when you get elbowed in the head when you're going in for the takedown, then all of a sudden your jits kind of goes out the window. Your black belt becomes a little bit less useful. Yeah. Except if you're like a world champ.
So you gotta like punch and kick your way into the takedown.
Yeah, or just, there's just so many variables and stuff that, the UFC it used to be about like everyone would have one fighting style, and now everybody is just like this dude.
Yeah, watching fighting highlights, like people get knocked out in so many different ways.
Yeah, on top of jiu-jitsu, this guy's also become a world-class striker over the past like 10 years or whatever. Mm-hmm. But he's just it's very funny. I watched a bunch of videos of him, and that's what I've been doing.
Paulie's podcast suggestion of the week.
Instead of having sex.
UFC guy on Lex Friedman.
I've been trading crypto, and I've been watching. I watched that.
Dude, we're both up on the crypto right now. My fucking Uniswap is soaring. I'm up $10, baby.
Mm-hmm. We're doing good.
Just hold the line. I put some money in Bitcoin last night when it's like, I don't know. I was thinking in like a trader mindset, and then after you talking to you last night, I'm like, oh, I need to get in an investor mindset.
Yeah, so it's probably down right now, but it's fine.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Dude, and the thing is, if you have less than $100 in there, dude, when it goes down, you don't lose anything.
No.
It's like you're still saving money because you would have spent more money than that on something retarded.
I had tens of dollars that I could like put towards Bitcoin yesterday, so that's what I did.
Yeah, I'm starting to get into a level where I'm not going to speak on specifics anymore.
No, you can't offer financial advice on this podcast.
No, you're not even the advice. Nothing I say is financial advice.
The numbers. Yeah, no numbers.
Yeah, not trying to flex my. I'm in that middle part now where it's not enough to flex, but it's too much where I feel uncomfortable sort of alerting people to my presence. Yeah. So I'm not trying to be flashy. Well, here's what's going to happen.
We're making a cool $40 a month on Patreon right now. I'll flex that.
I'm trying to
Let's get those numbers up, baby. Pump it up.
I'm trying to pull off my Lufthansa. What was it? Lufthansa heist? What's the Goodfellas thing?
Oh, I can't remember.
Whatever it is, the big heist in Goodfellas, and then
the airport heist.
And they say not to buy anything, and then he buys a car for his mother.
Yeah.
And they whack him.
Yeah, the guy's got a.
I'm trying to pull that heist off and then not be flashy afterwards. That's like
they pull the fur coat off of the guy's wife in the restaurant.
Yeah, I've got a heist in the works right now. I got a couple ideas for a heist, and I'm trying to decide which way to go.
Mm.
I'm making some moves right now, money moves.
You can't get into Bitcoin specifics on the podcast, but you want to talk about a heist that you're trying to pull off?
No, but that's like I'm doing something. Like I got to decide where to store my money long term.
Oh yeah, offshore.
Yeah, like a hardware wallet, but like I have to figure out how to make that shit make money while it sits.
Yeah.
In the best way possible. Like, where do I put it and then still be able to like up it? You know what I mean? I don't know.
Maybe get like an IRA or something.
No, dude. What the fuck?
I have no idea. I don't know anything about money.
What is this? 1974, dude? You Jimmy Carter, bro? You IRA? Who the fuck? If you have an IRA out there, you're a fucking. I mean, I don't know anything about finances, but it's not the way I go. You're boring. You're a nerd. If you have an IRA, you're a nerd.
I Googled where to save your money, and I have such a bad memory. I don't remember any of it. I have no idea where to put it.
What I think the best way to save your money is you got to find like a plaza with a really cheap lease.
Yeah.
Like Worcester, dude. Like you can find like a hole in the wall. Preferably maybe like, no, you don't even need turnkey restaurant. You just need like a decent kitchen in there.
Mm. You do a ghost kitchen now on Grubhub.
Dude, no passion, no integrity.
Yeah.
You turn it into a Subway.
Okay.
And then you immediately
franchise a Subway.
You franchise a Subway because it's like $800 a month, and then you immediately start laundering money via like pickles, tomatoes.
Yeah.
All the inventory stuff.
Is this back to pickle finance now?
Yeah, you just make money illegally, drug dealing, whatever you want to do, drug dealing, crypto, whatever it is, and then to not pay taxes, you launder the money through ingredients for a Subway restaurant.
Yeah,
and then you just only eat Subway all the time, and then you report that as people buying Subway from you.
Right.
And then the money.
You sleep at the Subway,
and then the money's in your pocket.
Yeah.
Now what you've effectively
you sleep
done,
next to the bread oven for warmth at
You've
night.
made up fake people that have come in and buy food, and then you take the food and
There's
eat it.
no foot traffic to this Subway, but
you literally don't even put a sign up. And then you take the money that you spent on the subs and you put it in your pocket.
Right.
And now you're a rich man. So that's not what I'm doing, but if I were to maybe think about how to launder my money out of crypto, that would be
through a franchise.
And when you see me owning a Subway in Austin, Texas next year, that's not what I'm doing. That's me for the true passion of sandwiches. I just love eating fresh.
Yeah, you just needed a $10 an hour job to get by on.
I pretend to just work at the Subway when I'm truly the owner of it. That would be the ultimate move, dude. That's like the ultimate money move. Is you don't even want the ego of you just act broke all the time. You're actually rich as fuck.
That's the way most rich people play it.
Dude, how did Young Lean and those guys not get robbed all the time?
Oh, just walk. That's every rapper. Well, that's how XXX Tentacion died. He had $75,000 in cash on him.
They're so fucked up all the time, and they have so much nice shit on them.
Yeah.
Why are they not even just getting mugged?
They have some sort of security, I think.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, no. It just looked like they were riding around in a Sprinter van with their manager and his producer. There was no security with them.
They would have been the easiest people on earth to rob.
I don't know if they had that much cash on hand with them, but
I bet they got robbed once or twice.
There was that one scene where he had a fanny pack with thousands of dollars.
Exactly. I was like, dude, this kid's gonna get fucking just knockout gamed.
Yeah, he was all Xannied out.
Yeah.
You ever do Xanax? That shit freaks me out.
Nah, I'm not something about that life.
Not our type of drug.
Yeah, I'm post drug too, other than weed.
Yeah.
I'm post sex and post drug. I'm
pretty beyond drug. I haven't done drugs since Austin.
I'm not post drinking yet, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
I don't miss drinking. Sometimes I'll hear about weed, what people are doing with weed and stuff. I'm like, that maybe it'd be nice to take a puff. I miss blunts for sure. I would like to smoke a blunt. But.
I went to a dispensary the other day.
Yeah.
And got some pre-rolls. Mm-hmm. And they have these little jars of weed pills.
Oh, jeez.
And they're only 5 milligrams each.
Yeah.
So I think you just pop 2 of them. I think Hannibal takes them.
Are they dab pills? Was there wax inside of it?
No, it's just it looks like a, do you know the multivitamins that just have the plastic shells you can pop open?
Yeah.
They're just like that, but small.
With weed inside of it?
Yeah, it's some type of weed that you just follow pill form.
Well, if you decarboxylate the weed, then it becomes edible. Like that's how you make edible. You have to like heat the.
You decarb it.
You decarb
make
the
it
weed.
keto.
Yeah.
It's keto weed.
Yeah.
Cool. That's good to know. I might want
You
to
keep only the fats and proteins in the weed.
Okay.
And then that's how you're able
Can
to
I
get
add
high.
MCT oil to it?
We're going to shit your pants, but go for it.
Nice.
Oh, we should dab MCT oil.
Yeah. But yeah, weed is the truth. I just like that, and what I'm gonna replace everything else with, all the sex, and all of the lies. I'm gonna replace it with. I'm going
Crypto.
Patrick Bateman. I'm gonna trade crypto.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna get into like a skincare routine.
Yeah.
Like a really good skincare routine.
You want to go to Sephora together and get a
I'm gonna
program?
start working out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and I just want to like perfect. You know, I'm sharpening all of the pain inside of me.
Yeah.
Into just trying to like fuck life in the ass.
Dude, when I'm not doing any drugs or anything, and I'm off porn, and I'm not having sex, that is the most productive I am. That's when I'm working out every day. I'm meditating. I'm writing. I'm reading books. Yeah. I need to get back on this again.
So I'm gonna go Patrick Bateman.
Yeah.
In 6 months, I'll probably try to murder somebody and see if I can get away with it because I'm so confident in my ability.
Yeah, you do get pent up after a while.
And I'll try to put a kitten inside of an ATM.
Mm-hmm. I was like super thirsty in like September for some reason. I was like off of porn for like 2 months. Had like one girl that I was seeing, and like when she wouldn't text me, like I had the thirst, and so I felt that delete of thirst.
Yeah.
It gets scary.
I'm tired of it. I'm tired of this world.
Yeah, after you like escape that like cloud, you're like, oh, I'm fucking retarded. Why was I like chasing pussy like that? Mm-hmm. Chasing
Amy. Good movie.
It's an alright movie.
Kevin Smith, right?
Yeah, he's in like the last scene.
He directed it.
It's a Kevin Smith movie, yeah.
Yeah. Of course that's what I mean.
But it's
You think when I say Kevin Smith I mean his acting?
It's got Batfleck.
Silent Bob's the only time he's ever acted even remotely decently. And
that's Affleck and Matt Damon, and I forget the girl's name.
Oh dude, Dogma. That fucking movie rules. You know what I don't get? Idiocracy is like a really famous movie now.
Yeah.
Dogma should be like that too.
Dogma's up there.
Yeah, but I used to see people reference Dogma more. No one does now, and Dogma fucking rules. Chris Rock, Matt Damon.
Well, like Idiocracy had like more of like the politics involved in it.
Yeah, and everyone's on the
We're not really talking religion
political
much
tip right now.
Yeah.
You
had some podcast bits. What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, this has been I don't know. Right now, I feel like doing a bit would be like following the least funny comedian on a show. Like, dude, this guy just ruined everything. Because that conversation was like...
Are these like stand-up bits you're working on, or are they ideas for shit to talk about on the podcast?
They're not really... They're just things that I put in my phone now because I'm like losing my mind.
I don't write anything down, and then I regret it. I feel like I had some stuff to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, I don't know. When I was watching the Young Lean documentary, I was just like... I feel bad for my boy Lean.
Yeah. I think he's better now.
Not really. He's like...
Well, he's bipolar.
Yeah.
He's on lithium.
He's like on... Yeah, exactly. Which was like on set. Like a condition that he might have not ever otherwise encountered without the...
No, it was probably bubbling. He was only like... Your brain's not fully developed until you're in like your early 20s.
Yeah, dude. But also, we're not talking about a small amount of chemical imbalance that he was working with.
Right.
He was an extended period of like absolute... There's no way that didn't have anything to do with it.
The drugs?
Yes. Specifically like...
The fame and attention and the pressure of that also.
And crystal meth.
Yeah.
And
Xanax.
Fucking, yeah.
Xanax will really fuck you up.
So there's absolutely no... For anyone to say that he might... Like, I get, yeah, he might have had that happen to him anyway, but also like a meteor might hit the earth. Like to even suggest that it's like an even... Like, it could have had an effect, but also could have not. Like, no, it definitely had an effect.
Yeah.
There's a small chance that maybe...
I think he was doing a lot of acid also.
Yeah. So it's like there's a small chance it didn't... But for some reason, there are drug people that try to assert that about a lot of like things.
Yeah.
And it's just patently false. Even as a person who thinks you should be able to do every drug you want. It's like... to deny that certain drugs are not exacerbating conditions.
Yeah, well, yeah, there's risk associated with it for sure.
Because, yeah. I don't know. Let me put it this way. The only couple of people I know that have had psychotic breaks have all done incredible amounts of psychedelics pre-psychotic break.
Yeah.
So
no, you gotta space those psychedelics out.
Like, I guess it's the chicken or the egg situation.
Yeah,
but
comedian Shane Moss broke his brain on psychedelics because he was doing mushrooms and acid every single day, trying to shoot a documentary about it.
So like, I don't know. I just think for some reason that point it's one of these things that gets swept under the rug a little bit.
It's fun to take a psychedelic and try to explore like that side of your brain, but then you just gotta sit in reality for a while after that and think about it.
I'm luckily not really creative or intelligent enough where there's much to explore in that side of my brain. The couple of times I've taken psychedelics, I just walk into that side of my brain and it's just kind of like an empty room with a couple of paintings. And I'm like, all right, this is cool. It's like a bad scene in a David Lynch movie. And then I just walk back into my real life and I'm like, all right, I'm done with that.
Yeah. I've never had a big epiphany on psychedelics, but I never set that as the intention. I always said it I want to have fun with my friends. Or go on a hike or something, or Ben and I watched the 5-hour Comedy Store documentary. But during that, that was I got pretty emotional watching that. Everyone's rise and the falls of different people, and just I'm talking about stand up.
That's hilarious.
And it was 2 weeks before we went to Austin, but I had been thinking do I want to drink when we're on the trip in Austin? That was really floating around my brain. I was I think it could be fun. I've been sober for 2 years. I'll try it out. But then during that trip, I realized no, don't do it.
If you ever start drinking, I'm gonna have to stop drinking.
Yeah.
I don't think the crew can sustain 3 drinkers.
No, you and I went out drinking a couple times, and it was fun. But some night, I think we went out and got beers a couple times instead of going to shows or doing stand up. And I was oh, we just wasted $30 a piece sitting in some sports bar or something somewhere where we could have been out hanging at a show or something. Because it was early on enough that we weren't booked yet and there were no open mics on the weekends.
Yeah, and I just think I don't know, our crew would run into trouble.
Yeah.
There's very few nights.
I like the dynamic of the 3 of us in Austin. I think one person was kind of
every night was having their own. Yeah, one person was the squid every night.
Yeah,
that was
Yeah, Monday night you got hammered and slept in the car, and I held it down.
I napped in the car. I didn't sleep in the car. I rested my eyes in the car.
Friday night, I was pretty fucked up, but I don't know. If you're not drinking, it's kind of hard to be out of control.
That's not true at all. This is so untrue.
Yeah, I wasn't on crystal meth or anything.
Nah, dude, if you're geeking on anything, you can any drug, even weed. Sometimes people are so high that it's just dude, we have to go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not waiting an hour to get funnel cake. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Yeah.
You see how long this line is?
Oh yeah, no one smoked weed during the week. You guys found some weed a couple times and hit some people's joints, but we never had weed on us.
Yeah.
So that wasn't it. Ben got blackout drunk on Friday night,
which ruled.
It was just pretty fucking funny. And I was pretty fucked up that night too. But you kept it under control the whole night. You were the chaperone.
I had moments of control and moments of losing it, and I had a lot of in between.
By 4 a.m, you and I were both let's fucking go home. But I was fuck Ben, I'll leave him here, and you were no child left behind.
Yeah, you cannot leave someone in that fuck. That's how you find out that they went swimming in a river alone.
It drowned. Yeah,
either they're super drunk on the way. There's just decisions that people.
Or
make.
Someone was hey, can you drive my car? And you're sure, I could do it.
Yeah, and I've just heard so many stories where people make decisions when they're drunk that you're and I never got it either. Because when I drink, if I get to that point, I'm on the floor. 100%. I'm not going anywhere. Even if I wanted to make a decision. I don't think I've had too many stories of people being dude, then you got up and you did this and you did this. And I don't. I'm dude, I don't remember any of that. It's just they're no, dude, last night you went out to the balcony and started puking everywhere. It's yeah, I remember walking to the balcony. Yeah. And I remember waking up on the balcony.
Now, I woke up. I've probably told this story on this podcast, but I woke up in a police station.
Oh, yeah.
And Because we were in Providence, I got blackout drunk in a club. My friends took me back to my car in Spencer, Massachusetts, and then I woke up in the Spencer police station because, like, my friend and I slept in my car. I was in the driver's seat, and in the middle of the night, I moved my car from one side of this dirt cul-de-sac to the other side in front of someone's, like, driveway. I have no recollection of that at all. And, like, my friend was sober, but, like, he was passed out in the passenger seat, and he didn't even feel, like, the car moving. So he woke up to the cops, like, tapping on the door. But, like, yeah, that's when I got all the stories of, like, oh, yeah, dude, you were, like, puking out, like, the window of the car. Like, you had your head hanging out the window like a dog. Like, puked all over the side of, like, this kid's Jeep. I was, like, dancing with girls in the club. Like, they had to, like, throw me into my car. And then I got arrested while I was blackout. I didn't wake up until I was in, like, the garage of the police station, handcuffed in the backseat of the car. I woke up, it was so confused.
Yeah, I don't get it. So whenever I see one of my friends who's drunk like that,
yeah,
I'm like, I don't really understand how they even are walking around, but like the fact that they're this fucked up.
Oh no, I've been to house parties where kids are. I didn't really know when I was like 20, 21. I didn't really know what blacking out was yet. So like we were at a house party and this kid was like completely out of control, like talking shit to my girlfriend, like vulgarly hitting on other girls, like taking his shirt off, like challenging people to fight.
I mean, and I was like, rules. That's all around alpha behavior.
I was like, what the fuck is this dude's deal? They're like, oh, he's blacked out. He has no idea what he's doing right now. And then I saw the kid a few months later. It was like, yo, man, like last time I saw you, like you were pretty fucked up. You were talking shit to my girlfriend. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any of it. I was like, well, just so you know, I forgive you. And like that really pissed him off. I was like, dude, you were really fucked up. I just want you to know I forgive you. He's like, fuck you, dude. I don't even know what you're talking about.
That's hilarious. Yeah. So I didn't want to leave. Dude, I just like, I hear too many stories about people just walking into rivers.
Yeah. No, can't leave the squad behind. We'll look out for each other in Austin.
Yeah.
I figured when we show up, we're probably going to, if we're like, we're all off like work for like a couple weeks when we're there might be a few nights where we like turn it up a little bit.
I think I'm over it. I think I'm over doing anything except sitting in my room on my computer and doing stand up. And then
once we moved to Austin, like it's pure business. And when we were there for a week, we were on vacation, did some drugs, drank some drinks, but like, we're moving there like for stand up and to like
I'm taking
start the next chapter of our lives. I don't want to start it off by like doing drugs and shit.
I'm going to take out a $10,000 loan with my Bitcoin as collateral.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to live off that for like a year.
$10,000 will sustain you for a year.
With my other Bitcoin, probably. $10,000 is kind of a lot of money.
I guess.
It's like 6 months.
If your rent's $500 a month, what's that times 12?
Yeah, it was a $10,000 loan.
$6,000. So you need $6,000 to pay your rent.
So I don't need to pay it back. I just disappear.
Yeah. You did have a plan last night.
Yeah.
To buy Bitcoin with a credit card.
Yeah.
Multiple credit cards. Max them all out.
Mm-hmm.
And then wait for it to get sent to collections.
Yeah, no.
Ignore all the phone calls.
And just go off the grid. Just live in the woods or something. What are they going to do?
In a tiny home?
Yeah, just cash all of it out.
Yeah.
And just go live in the woods in Oregon. What are they going to... do you really think they're going to find you? All the shit's going on right now? All of the money that they're trying to track down.
Yeah.
They're going to try to find you for what? $300,000?
We know people that have been audited over like hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, so you only get audited if you have a place for them to audit you. If I have $300,000 completely off the grid, drinking rainwater and using solar for electricity in Oregon, dude, if I got $300K, I could build.
Some like land surveyor will find you eventually.
I'll shoot him in the head, and then I won't even hide his body. I'll leave it out there so everybody else knows.
Just throw his phone into a river.
I think people really underestimate the Northwest and how people think Bigfoot could. There's reasonable people that think like a Bigfoot technically could be in there because it is quite dense.
No, it's beyond my scope of how big this country is and like how like big forests are.
So
how much land there is.
I'm going to Texas. I'm going to become a young money Bitcoin millionaire.
Yeah,
that's in
new money Bitcoin
impressive
baller.
Amounts of debt, and then I'm gonna move to the Northwest.
Yeah.
And I'm going to collect rainwater.
Where does stand-up comedy factor into any of this?
I mean, I'm going to be doing stand-up, and if stand-up takes off, that's my way out of the criminal game.
But if it doesn't, you're rich anyway. Fuck it.
Yeah, then I just go Tony Montana with the Bitcoin. Al Pacino.
You remember how that movie ends, right?
Yeah, that's because he's dealing with cocaine, dude. I'm dealing with Bitcoin. So the movie just ends with me fucking probably getting mauled by a bear or something like that.
By like Chinese businessmen come and gun you down.
No one's gonna be able to find me. You have no idea, dude. What are they gonna do? I'm living in a house the size of this room.
You're an internet financial success, and no one can track you down.
On the top of a mountain.
Via the internet. No one will be able to.
In the Northwest.
You'll have all this money online, yet no one's going to be able to track you down.
All right, here's what I'll do. No, I'm taking the money offline.
Yeah.
But.
Where do you cash it out?
Probably
at
like.
a Bitcoin ATM?
I'll probably put all the money into Habbo Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll probably I'll buy a lot of furniture on Habbo Hotel, and then I'll sell it on there.
Is Habbo Hotel still active? My sister was really into Habbo Hotel.
I don't know. It's something like that. Whatever the equivalent of that is right now. Minecraft, probably.
Yeah.
I was thinking...
No, what's the one you play? CSGO?
Yeah, I already sold everything from CSGO.
You're not going to invest in more skins and shit?
I don't know. I was thinking of actually tracking the market of CSGO and doing them like stocks. Like finding skins that I think are going to increase in value in the future.
Yeah.
And then buying them.
Just hoarding all of them.
Yeah. But, and I'm sure it would work, but it seems like such a silly, but I guess it would work. But you'd have to invest. Like
it's just as stable as crypto.
I know, but not really, because once they announce CS:GO 2,
or whatever, oh yeah, true.
Your shit just immediately depreciates.
What about Ethereum 2.0? Is that a new coin?
Ethereum is the main thing, and that's why there's like an Ethereum Classic, because that's like the old shit.
Yeah, but is Ethereum 2.0 like a new coin that you'll have to buy?
No, I think Ethereum is Ethereum 2.0.
Oh, okay.
I think.
I have no idea. I'll Google a couple articles sometimes. I was like, maybe I can learn about this. The language is just so.
That's why I just say just put some money. Honestly, dude, now I'm saying don't put money into any of it, because once everyone loses their money, if anyone tries to blame me for it, I'm just gonna be like, motherfucker.
Right.
What do I look like?
Yeah.
If you thought I was a financial advisor, that's not on you.
Yeah, you give me all this financial advice, and I'm just like, and then like you lie about shit half the time too. So like, I don't even know what's real and what's fake. So like, yeah, do not take financial advice from Paul Cyphers.
But sometimes I nail it on the head.
Yeah,
I called the two.
You could be a millionaire already, and you're just like playing it off, and like I would have no idea.
I had a couple of good.
Like you bought like 5 Bitcoin 5 years ago.
My instincts are getting better with some of the coins, like the movements. I feel like I've accurately predicted the movement of enough coins, but I've only placed money on my predictions like a small handful of times. So I'm still not convinced, because unless you're putting money on your bet, you could definitely just have a cognitive bias. It's like, oh, I'm right a lot, because you have nothing to like. You're not remembering everything. Like once you put money on it, then you really thought it was good.
Right.
You thought it was good enough to put money on it. That's why anyone that wants to talk about shit like that, like they want to be like, oh, Dogecoin's fucking good, and you should, maybe it could be a good investment. I'm like, well, if you have less than $100 in it, then you don't believe that either.
Mm-hmm. Now you got to go big with Dogecoin.
You have to go big or go home.
Yeah, you got to throw $1,000 on it when it was like 4 cents.
Don't know, not Dogecoin. I don't give financial advice, but if I did, I would say never put any money in Dogecoin.
Never buy Dogecoin.
Dogecoin is the only people that are...
Robinhood allegedly put a ton of money into Dogecoin.
Yeah, dude. Exactly. And they're an algorithmic... They literally have computers that react to the market 1,000,000 times faster and 1,000,000 times more accurately than you'll ever be able to.
So they'll just like pump and dump it before you even know.
Yeah, it's just parabolic. I mean, that's all it is. So like, think about it this way: when you get involved with Dogecoin, you're getting involved in like one of the most volatile, biggest market coins right now, right? Because there's just so many people buying it and selling it. That's just the volume of sales and the new addresses that, like, you know, that's a stat that people look at. How many new addresses does this coin have?
Right.
Dogecoin's off the fucking charts because all these people who never bought anything before. So as this, it's what a lot of times it goes parabolic. which is basically just like the coin has so much activity and there's algorithms and shit. So all it does is this all day. If it's going like this all day and everybody's doing it, who do you think on the most part is left holding the bag in these situations?
You.
Just like
I have no idea.
The general, if you don't know anything, if you're anything less than a complete, you have an algorithm or complete veteran, a complete autistic person that is obsessed with this crypto thing. And it's going like this all the time. And that person has way more capital than you do, is way more behind it, has way more investments. Dogecoin is just a small part of how they make all their money. Like, who do you think is being like holding left of the bag? Most of the time it's going to be someone who doesn't know what the fuck. Like, you know what I mean? And people, I don't know. So I just get weirded out when. That's why I tell people, like, just putting your money and just leaving it in like one or two things is probably the best way to do it, because you're not going to be able to outplay the players.
No, I'm in investment mindset now. I'm gonna just throw a few bucks at Bitcoin every couple of weeks, every paycheck.
Yeah.
How about this plan? Every dollar that I make doing stand up in Austin, I put into Bitcoin.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
I like that plan, because that's, again, the only money you want to put in Bitcoin is money that you're willing to lose.
Right.
But
and if I have a full-time job, I'm not stand-up's not my full-time
That's a really
job.
good plan. Also, I find that crypto is a great way. Like I said, I have a tough time saving money in a savings account that I'm able to just like convince myself I need.
Right.
When I put in this shit, there are transaction fees, and I see my money go up, which makes me not want to take it out.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's a really good plan, because then you won't spend the stand-up money. That's a great plan.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That's not financial advice.
Yeah, none of this is financial advice. But all I can say is, if you're going to get in the game, because what you're doing when you're trading is you're playing a game.
Yeah.
And you got to think to yourself, am I playing a game for funsies that I don't care if I lose money? But if your goal is to try to gain money in the game, you have to look at, all right, well, these people are playing the game and they want money too. How good am I compared to them? And the truth is, you're probably dog shit compared to them.
Yeah, especially if you're just jumping in right now. People have been on the crypto tip for, what, like 10 years?
Yeah. But there's exceptions to every rule if you want to study and shit. Like, that's what I've been trying to do. And that's kind of the conclusion I came to. And I haven't really moved money around for like a week. And I made more than I made.
I'm holding strong in my Uniswap, and I'm up $10 right now. So that's what it is, baby.
That's all it's about. And that's why I don't think that I need to do a lot of Stankonia podcasts. It's pretty much the only thing I'll be able to talk about on this one anyway.
Yeah. We didn't release the last one. I texted you. I was like, you want me to release Stankonia?
I never listened to it. I've just been real busy in the stonks. I want to get my personal capital up to a high enough point where I can make ridiculous clickbaity bets live on the cast and lose or gain incredible amounts of money.
Yeah.
Because if you bet like $10,000 on a Bitcoin, like if you just bought $10,000 worth of like a crypto, and then over the course of an hour, the amount it goes up and down, even if it only goes up and down a couple %, that's a lot of money that you're making and losing. And I think that would be a fun way to actually try to make Stankonia like popular. But in order for me to get there, I need to up my I'm like really in the cut with.
So Stankonia is on hold right now?
Yeah, I need to like make a bunch of money so I can go on there and flex it, and that'll get people to listen to it and hate on me.
Do you want to do YouTube live streams?
Yeah, like all that shit. Exactly.
Yeah.
But I just need to up my finance capital.
Word.
So if you want to invest in my hedge fund,
subscribe to patreon.com/LonelyMans.
Yeah, actually, dude, that's what we should just. If I ever make but that'd be so funny if someone made a Patreon for a stocks podcast, and they're like, here's what I do with the Patreon money. I just invest it all.
Yeah.
And then I try to give you back your Patreon. And it might not happen. I might lose it all. But I try to pay back everybody like plus $1.
Is that a Ponzi scheme?
You give me $5. No, it's what hedge funds are. People give you their money and say, try to get me more money.
Yeah.
That's all they are.
Yeah. Give us more money and we'll eventually try to get you more money.
If I become a billionaire,
give us more money and we'll get you more content. How about that?
If I become a millionaire on crypto,
yeah,
I will pay back. You send me a receipt for all your Patreon money.
Oh yeah,
and I'll pay you back plus 5% interest.
I don't know what 5% interest is on.
On $5 is very. I don't have to worry about it. 5% interest you really don't have to worry about, because I've been trying to get interest on my stuff.
Yeah.
And 5% interest when I calculate it, even for
we'll give you the $5 back minus the fees that Patreon charges us, because we don't get the full $5. We get like $4.
Yeah. But there's scenarios where I can get like 13% interest and or 12% interest with staking crypto, which is a bad idea because essentially the biggest appeal about crypto is that you have a key, and no matter where it is, you have the key, you have access to it.
Yeah. I just bought crypto on Coinbase. They didn't give me a key. Do I have access to that money?
Technically, like, it's in there.
They have the key?
What they sold you is they didn't sell you Bitcoin.
Yeah.
They sold you a voucher that says you own the Bitcoin that they're holding for you,
Okay.
which is true.
Yeah.
But until you take it out, which if you did an instant deposit, it takes like 7 days before you can take it out, which isn't a big deal. Coinbase is about to go public. If you were going to do that with any site, I think that would be one of them. Kraken is another one I think that people kind of respect.
Yeah.
That kind of does the same thing. But it's like until you take it out, it's like not yours. So ideally you want to take it out, put it in a wallet, and they give you a key that you don't screenshot, you don't put it on your computer, you just write it down. And then with that, then you're like the official owner. Some people actually have these things called paper wallets where the Bitcoin is stored somewhere that you literally can't get into it unless you have like a QR code that's printed on a piece of paper. So that piece of paper, and some, they'll print like 7 copies of them. But the thing is, like, if you lost all those QR codes, the paper wallet, you can't get into it because it's not even like a company or anything that sets it up. I think it's like a weird, like, it's like not like, it's just like a database.
Yeah.
And I think that is a cool way to store it.
Just where do you keep the QR code?
I don't know. I would put one, in my files. I'd put one behind a painting, like Titanic style.
Yeah.
I'd put one like behind my case in my phone.
If you scan the QR code, do you get instant access to it?
You scan the QR code and then you can like deposit and withdraw.
Oh, okay.
Into an app or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I think you still need to like probably type your password and shit.
Right.
But it's just like the idea is without those pieces of paper, there's no access.
Well, that was the crypto portion of the show.
Mm-hmm.
What else do we have I can't wait till we move to Austin. We'll have more shit to talk about.
Probably not. I won't.
You'll have nothing. Yeah, you're just going to be doing crypto and stand up the whole time.
Yeah.
That's something. Things will happen at the shows and shit.
Possibly it is crypto. I mean, I want to do stand up, but at a certain point, if I can make $100K a year doing crypto,
yeah,
I'll probably just become one of those weird open micers that just like shows up twice a week and hangs out with you guys.
Yeah.
Which is like not the, and then I'll literally just be your guy's agent.
You go up last on the open mic and just fuck around, and do crowd work.
And I'll just be your agent.
Yeah.
And I'll open up a club. That's what I'm going to do. If I become like a fucking... Yeah, I'll just be like, look, stand-up was sick. I want to do it. But I got to take where the wind has blown me into all this money. And I'll just give back to stand-up. Yeah.
Probably a lot of crypto talk going on in Austin. It's a big tech city.
I know, dude.
I'm trying to start a firm down there.
Fuck. No, I'm trying to get into like investing my money in a firm. Like build my capital up.
Yeah.
It's like $50K. And then in the crypto bubble.
Yeah.
Give them... Because, dude, in the 90s, there was so many hedge funds where they eventually went belly up and, like, ruined the entire system. But there was a bunch of them that, like, got, like, 40% returns, like, for every single one of their clients in, like, the first fucking 4 years. Like, every year, which is so insane. Like, just giving someone $100,000, and then when they give it back to you, it's just $140,000 in, like, a year. And, like, you did nothing. That's what I want to do.
That was like Bernie Madoff, except it was all fake.
George Soros.
Yeah.
You know George Soros made his money by or was this George Soros or was someone else? I think it was Soros. He made his money by he knew that the pound or something was going to crash. Maybe it's someone else. Where was I watching this?
Yeah, that is a story. I think that's Soros, yeah.
And
I've Wikipedia'd him before.
And he like made it crash. He bought all of it.
Right.
So that like because it was so close to failing anyway. So he like bought it all up and then sold it for like German francs or something like that. Like I don't know what he did. I forget. But it's just so funny to me that like that's something that happens to the shitty coins in crypto is that like weird like huge whales they call them. So there's whale trackers online and they'll be like last night $3 million of this one coin was transferred from one wallet to another wallet address. and that like it gets posted on this website, and people are like, "What is going on? Who is this? Like, what does this mean?"
Yeah.
And that's basically just what he did, but like a real life version of it.
And then he started Antifa after that.
I guess so. Dude, it's like funny because I know nothing about him, and then when I learned those couple of things about him, it doesn't make me like him per se, but I do like how like Doctor Doom his whole life is.
Yeah.
Where he's just like
like he on the left there's George Soros, and on the right it's like the Koch brothers.
Yeah, and yeah, it's sick. I on a certain level I respect the evil money people. Because it's just like it's so cold blooded, and it's like the only way you can be Genghis Khan anymore is like the only way you can like topple an entire fucking place and make it yours.
Yeah,
is just like via numbers now, which I think is very funny.
Dude, the nerds have like completely taken over. It's no longer about brute strength.
Dude, that's why Cardano is gonna fucking blow up, because in fact Gene Simmons tweeted about it last night.
Gene Simmons is in the crypto game.
He's in Cardano, dude. He's into it heavy, and dude.
Because there was like Elon Musk, Gene Simmons, and Snoop Dogg were like really pushing Dogecoin a couple weeks ago.
Dude, Cardano's what it's about. And Gene Simmons tweeted out one of the reasons he believes in it is because they're committed to getting Cardano into Africa, because they want everybody in Africa to have a decentralized banking system.
Since when is Gene Simmons interested in Africa?
I think he's just interested in that. If they can successfully do that with Cardano, because that's like the type. So Cardano is designed to give people like complete decentralized. Like the whole point of all the technology behind it is try to give people decentralized. So it doesn't matter what country you live in, doesn't matter where you live, you can just use this banking system and it won't fuck you, and it won't impede your rights and stuff like that. And so if they successfully do that, I feel like there's a lot of countries and a lot of continents that would be interested in that type of everything, from like China to like South Africa to like the Philippines to like America, because you can't even play online poker in America. Right. So it's like, I just think that type of thinking where it's like use crypto to make just complete libertarian jerk off utopia with like you can do whatever the fuck with your money, even if you want to pay like a hitman, because that's really what the risk is to technology like that, is that they'll convince you that you're trying to use it. Some people will use it to like pay off hitmen and buy heroin.
Yeah, child pornography.
But are people just doing that anyway? So I don't understand why now I can't play online poker because of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the dark web was like a big scare in like the last like 20 years.
Dude, I know. It's just like satanic cults in the 90s.
Yeah.
It's like there's probably like 3 things going on like this. Mm-hmm. But now I can't get a Pornhub Pro subscription because of these people. That's what you're saying?
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Yeah, dog. Let's wrap this up. This has been an hour.
Shout outs, Chris D'Elia. Things will get
you.
better, my man. It's been a long time.
We miss you, Chris D'Elia. We miss you, Ben Bow.
Yeah, hell yeah. Shout outs, Ben Bow. I don't know. We probably should have shouted out Ben before Chris, because we don't want. I was at the Chris shout out was ironic.
Yeah, the Ben Bow was sincere.
Yeah.
Really do miss Ben Bow.
Yep.
All right, let's do the Patreon episode. Patreon.com/LonelyMans. $5 a month. You get a bonus episode every Friday. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe on Spotify and Apple. Follow at Real Paul Cyphers on Instagram for crypto tips.
That was a real
and emo playlists.
That was a real low energy app.
Oh, whatever.
I hope you guys enjoyed it.
If you can't be funny, be interesting. And I don't think we were either, but it's all right.
I'm insecure, so if you did enjoy it, tell me.
No one, every time we're like, hey, give us a shout out, like let us know who's listening to this shit. No one ever does it, except your friend who texted you the code word to get money. And if you didn't enjoy it, but you hear this, just lie to me and say you did. Or suck my balls. Mm-hmm. All right. Lonely Mans. Peace.